in our industry, we do have the artists and we have the money guys. You know, a lot of people, especially the younger generation that are trying to get into the industry, they're obviously getting their inspiration from social media. And if you notice, a lot of the, the top barbers on social media tend to be your celebrity barbers who are charging $150, $200 a haircut. So these kids are seeing that and it's like, oh wow, you can do that as a barber. And I find some barbers that are very good, but they don't necessarily have the customer service together, you know.
Facts!
Yeah, I'm here with a man like JB.
Hell yeah, bro.
What would you like to get today?
Just a slight taper. I'm trying to get the hair braided, so I'm just trying to get the hair to grow as long as it can.
And dried and two tangled, you know.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Shah Styles.
She has told me what to do, you know. I have to give her
strong head. You're not good now, bro. You guys listen to this one.
No, Elisha.
Yeah.
What would you like to get today?
Probably just get an afro with a low taper fade, and if we can clean up my beard, that'd be nice.
So you want to do a goatee?
Yeah, probably do that, yeah.
Goatee mustache?
Yep.
The top, how much are you thinking you want to take?
Just a little bit, not a whole lot.
Yeah? Just clean up, more like a clean up?
Yeah, just clean look, yeah.
All right. Obviously, customer service is a composite whole. There's a lot of things to it, you know, but I not say like, I don't talk to every client.
Yes.
Because some clients just want to have a peaceful haircut, and that's fine. It's a therapeutic space for men. On the outside, it might look loud, noisy, chaotic, but on each individual chair, there's something that's going on. But yeah, I do get clients that tell me stories, you know, about stories that make me appreciate my relationship more, you know. Because you see what's going on there. Like a babe that is beating her boyfriend, you know.
Stuff like that.
Those kind of stories, you know. There was this man in my church. It's an older white man. So I mean, we did kind of have a friendship just from church and whatnot. And his wife had tried to offer me a job at the time, but it was like, I know you might have to edit this part, but it was like, I went to do a summer job as an office assistant. I was behind the desk, I was sorting out files and whatnot. And but like every day I was having a headache, just sitting on that computer. I felt I was choked, I was suffocated. And that just made me realize, okay, I don't like this setting. I don't like an office setting of having to just sit here. I posted this guy's haircut on my Snapchat, and this girl commented, she's like, "Blessed, this guy looks like a lizard." And I was like, I died, bro, because that was what he wanted, you know. And I just gave it to him. I said, like, "Blessed, this guy looks like a lizard. Why would you let him leave the shop like that?"
Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Called at Bed podcast. On today's episode, I have somebody phenomenal here. He's a serial entrepreneur, and this is a friend I've known for a very long time. And I'd like to welcome my brother, Blessed.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, bro. Thank you.
Blessed, I've known you for about, 5 years?
Yeah, I want to say around 5-6.
5-6 years, right?
6, yeah.
Yeah, and
only since 2019.
2019, yeah.
Yeah, around 2019.
2019.
Yeah, so that's probably, bro, 6-7 years.
6-7 years, a long time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
One thing I've learned from you is like you are really consistent, bro.
Yeah.
Where is that from? Where do you get that from?
I mean, when you say I'm consistent, in what sense?
Consistent in the sense that what I knew you to do before, like you're still doing that now, even better.
Right. Okay. I mean, I think for me is, I guess maybe in my head it's sort of like a binary option, right? It's like I have to be doing something, and if what I'm doing is working, then I'll keep doing it, seeing how I can improve on it. You know, if it stops working for me in some sense, then I can pivot. But I mean, since you met me doing barbering, like it's been working for me. In fact, it wasn't my first choice anyway.
Oh, you know, what was your first choice?
Well, I mean, if you're going back to when I left secondary school, my first choice was fine arts. I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to draw, paint, and then but my family told me, "Omo, you'll be broke." So I had to find another
Uh,
alternative. I mean, I could see it in the society, right? You couldn't. There were not a lot of artists that were doing really well, you know. In fact, even my dad was an artist, right?
oh,
So I was getting first-hand experience of what it's like to be an artist in Nigeria. So I wanted to do engineering. I mean, I went to do engineering at the U of M.
U of M, okay.
Yeah, and then after year one, I switched to computer science. Then after year 3, 4, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do psychology. I make computer science my minor. Now within that time, I was thinking like, okay, what can I do to make money on the side? Then that was how barbering came into the picture.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Before, with African parents, I don't know how you were able to deal with the fact that, okay, mommy, now I'm not doing engineering anymore. I have to do computer science. I have to do this. How did you deal with that? I know it wouldn't be easy, man.
It wasn't easy. Although the thing is, with engineering and computer science were kind of put on the same platform. So it wasn't a big conversation to say, okay, I'm switching to this. We're living in the techie world right now. So that was a no-brainer for them. Switching to psychology though, that was when I had a conversation with them.
With them, or
And then also like, it got to a point where I was frustrated with computer science, and like the frustration was clear. At that point, family, Mom C especially was like, okay, you know what? Do what you think makes you happy, you know, or do what you think works for you. And so that was a push that I needed, you know, to do that. And then when it came to barbering in particular, they didn't really have, there wasn't an opinion about it, you know. It was just more so like, okay, he's hustling, he's doing his thing, you know. However, I didn't think that they didn't think I'll be doing it this long.
Yeah. As I said, I didn't know you do it this long too.
Nobody thought I'll be doing it this long.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So is this something that you were doing back home, or where did you learn it?
No. So, I mean, back home, I played around with the clipper, right, with my brothers in the house. You know, we just mess ourselves up. But coming here, I started watching videos on YouTube about it. That was in 2015. I would just watch random videos. There was 360 GZ, popular guy. But then there was one guy in particular that I liked his style, but he didn't have a lot of videos. But I did take a lot from his style. E. Jones. So 2015, I was just watching.
2015?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, I was just watching videos. Then 2016 came, recession hit Nigeria. And then my pocket money that I was getting just got slashed in half.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, you know what? Now I actually have to like get up and get something going, right? So then 2016 summer was when I bought my first pair of clippers. All my little supplies. And then I started trying to...
Oh, then you were still in Nigeria, right?
No.
Oh, that's when you came. Okay.
So I came here in 2015, January. Did school for a year. I did year one for a year. Then 2016 summer, I had free time. Because that summer was when I was going to transition to university.
University.
You know, a lot of us went to
I see. Yeah.
Went through the college system, right? So during that time, that was when I was thinking like, okay, in fact, mind you, that was the time I got my first tax return. I think I got like 1,200.
Sheesh. So your first tax return is always like,
and that was
the best.
Exactly, that was the best. So, bro, I think I had eaten like 700 already out of the money.
Sheesh.
There was like 5 bills left. I'm like, oh man, so this money is about to finish.
Yeah.
And then now it's going back to begging Momsi for money. I'm like, bro, what can I do? So it was from that 500 I spent $300 to buy my supplies, my first set of supplies. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So who was your first? Do you remember your first client?
Yeah, I remember my first client. Now there's a bit of a contention with who my first client was, but was it one of them beauty products, all the pyramid type scheme.
Oh, I see.
So me, I wasn't with it. But that man also offered me my first job, bro.
Wow.
So he told me to come cut his grass and to clean his carpet in his basement, right? So I went to his house. He showed me how to do the grass. So I did it. Showed me how to use the carpet cleaning machine.
Yeah.
I did it. I think I took like 4 hours, and he gave me like $11 per hour. Sheesh. So that was a check of $44. That was like the first pay I got.
There you go.
Canada,
Okay.
Right? So within that time, there were times I would just cut his hair, but then I'll just because he knew I wanted to learn how to cut hair.
Oh,
So like,
okay.
okay, bro, like man, my hair is easy. He was balding, so it was just one step for me. So I just used that to kind of get a feel of the clipper. But then my first real haircut was my guy Pascal. That was the first guy that I actually attempted a fade on. I tried to implement what I was watching, on someone's head. And that was that same 2016 summer. All of this, it sounds like a long time, but all this happened within that
time.
That time, yeah.
Wow.
So that was my first real haircut. Yeah.
Do you still have him as a client?
I still have him.
Wow, that's a long time.
Oh yeah. I mean, now we're even closer. We're like
Closer,
guys,
yeah. That's nice. I feel like in business you always have this season where when you get your first client, when you see the person, it always reminds you of that time, right? Yeah. Or in the barbering industry, it has like a lot of misconceptions, right? People like stereotypically, people feel like, in Africa, not to lie, after coming here, that's when I realized that, barbers actually make a lot of money, and they live good, right? Yeah. But in Africa, it doesn't look like that. I think now it's changing, right?
Changing, yeah. We have a lot of Gen Zs wanting to come into the industry
industry, right? Yeah. Does it start from passion first or the money first?
I think a lot of people, especially the younger generation that are trying to get into the industry, they're obviously getting their inspiration from social media. And if you notice, a lot of the top barbers on social media tend to be your celebrity barbers who are charging $150, $200 a haircut. So these kids are seeing that and it's like, oh wow, you can do that as a barber. I don't have to be under a boss. I can make that money. So in our industry, we do have the artists and we have the money guys. I think the best place is an in-between. I lean more to the artistic side, because I do enjoy what I'm doing. Like you sitting on my chair, you're like a canvas, and you leaving my chair for me, you're a representation of my work.
Yeah.
So as an artist, you take that very seriously, right? Yeah.
Wow. I heard barbers, most people in relationships, they run to their barbers if they have problems. And they go, is that true? What's the craziest story you've ever heard on a chair?
I've heard a lot of crazy stories.
Yeah?
I've heard a lot of crazy stories. Yeah. Well, I think now we're beginning to understand that the barbershop is like men's therapy space. It's a therapeutic space for men. On the outside, it might look loud, noisy, chaotic, but on each individual chair, there's something that's going
on.
But yeah, I do get clients that tell me stories, about stories that make me appreciate my relationship more, because you see what's going on there. Like a babe that is beating her boyfriend.
I've heard those stuff like that.
Those kind of stories, But yeah, I think there's the contract between a psychologist and your client. There's a non-disclosure.
That's true. Yeah, definitely. You don't have to go into details.
I may not go into details, but I do hear just stuff that's going on in people's relationships and whatnot. Yeah.
So just having, let me say, how many clients do you normally have in a day now?
In a day, I do an average of I'm say 8 to 10 cuts a day.
8 to 10 cuts. So imagine listening to 8 different stories.
Yep.
And you have your own story too. Yep. But listening to 8 different stories, that's really.
I mean, and in as much as the barbers are giving their clients a therapeutic experience, our clients also give us that experience. Yeah. So even sometimes when you sit down on my chair, and I'm going on and on, I'm talking, that's also me expressing myself. But we also know who to express ourselves to. Personally, if you're more receptive, if I like your vibe, let me just keep it that way, And I feel like this person is someone that can understand and give me insight on the particular subject. There's also the subject discrimination. Yes. I don't talk about certain things with certain clients, and you now, every time you come into my chair, we're talking business.
Because
you're the serial entrepreneur. There's this guy from the one, bro. from day
man.
one, you know. So yeah.
I respect the hustle, man.
Yeah.
I've seen you grow like to the level that you are now. Like I don't even get bookings, but like, when I go on your calendar, like, I guess 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, and when I see that, to be very honest, I'm very happy for you, bro.
I appreciate
that's a
No, I appreciate
good
that.
job,
I
man.
appreciate
Good
that
job,
for
good
real.
job, good
I
job.
appreciate that.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, even myself, like, because when I started in 2016, I caught my guy Pascal, you know, once. Maybe I caught him a second time. Then a month later, I got a lineup. But one of my guys wasn't even a lineup. He just like, bro, can you help me just
Clean,
clean
yeah.
under my neck? You know. Then month 2, I maybe get 2 clients. Month 4, one of my guys, I think it was Nelson, tells me to come give him a house call at the U of M. At the time, I was doing $10 for a haircut. You know, that was just the price I set, $10 for a haircut.
I wish I knew you then, bro.
Well, maybe you probably wish you didn't know me then. 'Cause I might have chopped you up then.
right. Okay.
But,
That's true.
But to be fair, like that 2016 that was the learning phase, you know. So I was doing house calls for $20, bro. Went on campus. I caught this guy. His roommate walks in. Oh, bro, I want a haircut, so I caught him. Another guy walks in. So I end up doing 4 haircuts that day. You know. Then another time, one of my guys, I believe it was either Wadata or Babu, one of them called me to Pembina Hall. The first set of guys that I did as a group, that was AVM. Is it
AVM,
Otto
yes,
Maro, yeah,
yes,
that
yes.
restaurant building. Next one was in Pembina Hall. Then I think I did like 5 guys, you know. Then that was when things started to...
In a day?
Like, bro, in a day. That was when things started to, like, I think, take off, you know. By 2017 summer, bro, I was seeing like 15, 20 guys a week coming to my crib. Because I was cutting in it was cutting in this small closet in my apartment. So at that time, the volume was too much for me, especially in my personal space.
Yeah.
You know, I also didn't want my neighbors to think I was selling drugs.
Yeah.
Right? So, bro, as God will have it, and bro, in this life here, sometimes, I mean, all the time we make our plans, but it's God that really, you know, creates the avenues or shows you the opening, right? So I was posting my work online at the time, 2017 summer or 2017-ish. KB,
Yes.
barber, he hits me up. He's like, bro, there's a spot opening on Pembina. Like, would you like to come work there?
Okay.
So that came at the time when I was getting choked in my apartment, you know. The volume was too much for me. And so I was like, sure. As soon as I went with KB, my price went up from $10 to $25.
Right.
And half of my clientele disappeared, bro.
Oh.
Half of the clientele disappeared, you know. So then that was like another rebuilding phase.
Yeah, pivotal stage.
Yep.
Wow. So when it comes to charging, right? Do you use based on market pricing or based on the results you are giving the people? Or how do you handle that?
Pricing, for sure, there's a bunch of factors, right? The market price, definitely. You have to consider what the barbers that are like you are charging.
Okay.
Because there's different levels. I mean, there's levels to everything.
Yeah.
Then your availability, like how booked are you?
Yes.
If I'm getting booked 2 weeks straight, 3 weeks straight, almost a month straight, that's a sign for me to raise up my prices. You know, because at that point, it even becomes stressful for the clients. Who are willing to pay but can't book you.
True.
You know, and then also like my skill level, you know. But then again, your skill level is displayed in the results that you're getting.
Yes.
If you're getting bookings, that means you're doing something right.
You're doing something right.
Yeah. So it's really those 2 factors mainly: the market price and my availability. That kind of dictates where I set my price.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. What do you think has kept you this long? What mindset shifts or
I think I'll have to go back to an experience when I was in grade 8, 9, 10, grade 10. Grade 10, I think that's just 3.
Okay.
I went to do a summer job as an office assistant. I was behind the desk. was sorting out files and whatnot. And bro, like every day I was having a headache. Just sitting on that computer, like I felt I was choked, I was suffocated. And that just made me realize, okay, I don't like this setting. I don't like an office setting of having to just sit here. Then again, who knows? Maybe things might have changed now.
Yeah.
And then also just being constantly told what to do. I also didn't enjoy that. So there's that freedom. There's that desire for freedom. I think that's the main thing that has actually kept me
Desire
here.
for freedom.
Yeah, the desire to, and the ability to, make my schedule, be my own boss in that sense.
Working on your own time.
Working on my own time too, being able to take a vacation when I want.
Yes.
So I think that's one side of it. The other side is the creative side. It's a creative outlet for me. I don't draw as much as I used to, but doing haircuts is a creative outlet for me. Interacting with people, I used to be very shy, but barbering took me out of that shell, made me more expressive, taught me how to express myself better. So yeah, it's a bunch of things. It's a bunch of things. It doesn't mean it doesn't come with its cons. It has cons for sure. But I think this is the main thing that has kept me there is the freedom. Yeah.
You mentioned God in our conversation. I heard how's God important to you in your life and in your career?
Yeah, I mean, so my faith is like integral to my life. That's like my source of peace. Because even when I find myself drifting away, that's when I get restless. That's when confusion comes. That's when fear comes. So my faith just keeps me in alignment, and it makes me understand that okay, everything is okay. God has a plan, and then also, it also makes the work that I do better. It makes me want to be better for my clients. It makes me view my relationship with my clients differently. It's not just about the money. It's about like, can this person sit in my chair and live with some sort of impact? So yeah, I think it definitely affects my whole life in that sense.
There was a time, I like what you just said, because there was a time I had a conversation with a friend and he goes like, oh, he likes my haircut. Then it's like, oh, where do you get your haircut? And I mentioned, oh, I get it from Blizzard. And he goes like, how much does he charge? Then I was like, 55. And he goes like, 55? Like, yeah. And the reason why I'm happy to pay that, I would say this for the audience. The reason why I'm happy to pay that is because when we sit in the chair, we are not just talking about haircuts. Like there's always something I leave with, right? There's always something. I make sure with all my conversations I have with somebody, I feel like you don't have that much time in your lifespan. So any opportunity you get to speak with somebody, always try to get something from the conversation, right? 100%. Just always try to, 100%. which is something that I this is why I would pay that much for. And from a barber's perspective, what is that for you too?
Yeah, I think.
Why do you think your clients want to pay you that much for a haircut?
And I think it's partly what you said, right? It's one thing to be good at cutting hair. It's another thing. I think what really keeps a brand is how they relate to their clients.
Yes.
And that's one thing I learned early on. It's how am I relating? Am I charismatic?
Yes.
Am I knowledgeable? Am I exhibiting the fruits of the spirit? Am I showing love, patience, kindness to these guys?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's very vital for me. And I find some barbers that are very good, but they don't necessarily have the customer service together, Obviously, customer service is a composite whole. There's a lot of things to it, but I not say like, I don't talk to every client the way like I talk to you, right? Because some clients just want to have a peaceful haircut, and that's fine.
How do you tell that though?
That's fine. If I ask a question, hey, how's your day going? You're like, oh, it's good.
Then I think, okay.
And then midway through the haircuts, I say, oh, so what do you do for work? Yeah, I do this, you just kind of sense the vibe.
Sense the vibe, yeah.
It doesn't mean that they hate you or anything.
Yes, sometimes they just want.
They just want a peaceful.
It's like taking an Uber and the Uber driver just wants to talk, and you,
you know,
you just want to get to your destination. Yeah.
And there are times when you have something to say.
Yes, the other times. Yeah.
So there was a time for me when it's like, okay, I wanted to fill every space with a conversation, you know. But now I've come to the point where even my clients that like to talk, there are times when they don't want to talk, and I'm able to sense that.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you were to advise anybody who wants to start in the barbering industry, like, okay, I have no money, how do I start? Well, not no money, but then I have just a little to start. Maybe let's say $200 to start. Right. What should I do? Well, should I build my clientele, or what should I do first?
Well, I'll definitely say, well, first things first, why do you want to get into the industry, right?
Good question.
It's like, what is the why? Some people are like, oh, if money is the why, then it's not enough. But money might be a strong enough
for somebody. However, I feel like people just say that, they just throw that about.
Yeah, it's like, oh, passion is always the key. You know, passion is not always the key, right? I don't think anybody wants to really do a 9-to-5. Yeah. But when you have a vision, you do it, you sustain it.
Yes.
But the thing is, again, that element of passion or that element of enjoying the job is very, very key to being able to do it to your best, you know. Else, if you just want to be an average barber, man, get your clippers, go watch some YouTube videos, find family friends, and just start to cut them.
Yeah.
If you want to be a great barber, then it's like, okay, actually have love for the thing. See what the industry looks like and see how you can improve on it. And start to work in that sense, you know. Make sure that everybody that sits on your chair, you listen to them. Listen to your clients I think that's just step one.
Listening to your clients.
That's the first step. You need to listen to your clients. There's barbers that are like, oh, I don't like picky clients. I don't like. Now, for me, it's your hair. Whatever you want is what you want.
Yes.
And it's my responsibility to give that. That's why I'm charging you what I'm charging.
Yeah.
You know, if I was charging you $20, then it's like, oh, but I just want to get you off the chair.
Yeah.
You know? But I charge what I charge because I want to give you what you want. You know? And the barber needs to have that mindset of like, okay, how do I give my clients what they want? And that starts with listening. You know. But yeah, I think to answer your question, if you want to get started, definitely ask yourself why. Once you have your why, you buy your clippers, watch some YouTube videos. There's lots of resources online right now.
So as simple as a YouTube video.
As simple as a YouTube video. However, though, like obviously there's the licensing part of things, right? You need to go to hair school and get your license. In hair school, you learn a lot about sanitation, the business side of things, how to do women's hair as well. You know, those things would set you apart from the guy who just wanted to just do fades.
Do you know, I actually never thought of that. So there's actually a hair school.
Yeah, there's hair school.
You also did that?
No, I didn't do it. Not yet. Not yet. But it's something I definitely want to do.
Yeah. What you said is true, because sanitation and all that. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But even without hair school, like something like sanitation, I remember we were talking about excellence, you know.
Yes.
And like cleanliness is part of excellence, right? You know, if you come to my station and it's always dirty. My mirror is always dirty. I'm not smelling nice. That's true. A bad experience for your clients.
Wow. That's like some valuable information right there. So for people who don't know about the barbering industry, right, I want you to tell us the point where you felt that green bulb to say, okay, this can be a full-time income for me. When was that? Do you remember that day?
Yeah.
Or that moment?
I think, I don't know if I remember the exact moment, but the weeks when I started to make $150 a week, and then which came up to like $600 a month. I was like, oh wow. And I'm just doing this on a small scale at $10 a haircut and $20 for a house call. Then when I started charging $25, and then I saw that I could make 3-4 bills in a week.
Wow.
You know, then I was a student and I was still working part-time. And I'm like, okay, and then also KB, like KB is also a very like important part of my story, right?
Wow.
Because he used to say like, bro, you're gonna make money and people will think you're selling drugs. So like, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, let me see what this guy is saying. You know? And he kept saying to don't give up, you know. So I think it was also, he was telling me don't give up, but I never had the plan of giving up. You know? But I guess he's also come across a lot of barbers, and I have come across a lot of barbers who started and they didn't last a year. And they're just like, oh, let me go do something else, you know. But I guess those words too kept me going, and seeing that he was doing this and he was able to take care of things, I'm like, okay, you know what, I can do this as well, you know. Yeah.
Talking about KB, so how important is, my follow-up question was, how important is mentorship to you? But then, as you said, KB, like, played a major role in your career.
My mentor.
Along the line, have you gotten other ones, or?
Yeah, in a sense, you know. So KB's mentorship was very key, you know, because I mean, he used to say, Alaji, you're shy. Alaji, he's called Alaji, because I'm from the north. So seeing how he would talk, how to express himself freely, I'm like, okay, you know what? And the whole charisma, I'm like, okay, you know what? These are things I can pick up. Because I was a shy guy, bro. I mean, maybe I still am in some sense, but
you found your tone.
I found my thank you. He helped me kind of find my tone in that sense. For real. And it's very key because, okay, now even leaving KB and working on the Swish now, Reagan now is the boss at Swish, right?
Right.
And there are things too that I'm picking up from him, you know, a lot of things, you know, about business, leadership and whatnot, you know. So it's very, very key. It's very key in the industry as well.
I see the barbering industry different now, because I'm like, people are never going to stop getting haircuts. Like, there's always going to be a time you need a haircut for something. Like, sometimes you just want to be fresh. That's it. It's not even about going for an event or anything. And sometimes you get events. So, for example, if somebody calls you for, have you flown to go cut hair yet?
Have I flown? I haven't flown for a haircut, but I've done haircuts
makes sense.
Like last time I went to Calgary, I had this one guy. He came to Winnipeg. He was emceeing a wedding, and so he really liked the haircut. He's like, bro, anytime you're in Calgary, let me know.
Right.
So when I went to Calgary, I just hit him up, and then did that. Yeah.
So what's the future for where do you want to get to, in a sense, with the barbering industry? Do you eventually want to start cutting like celebrities or stuff like that? Is that something that you would want to do, or no?
So I mean, our industries, we have I like to think that there's your barbers. We have different categories of barbers, right? The celebrity barber is a certain category. Me personally, I'm not hyped about cutting celebrities, right? Just because the people that keep my lights on and put food on my table are my regular everyday people, you know.
True.
However, though, it doesn't mean I'm going to turn down an opportunity. Obviously, that'll be good exposure. That'll be whatnot. But my goal primarily is not, I need to get celebrities. And I do have barbers around me who that is their primary goal. In fact, one of my coworkers tell me, he's like, bro, I'm going to cut Drake. And he's excited by that.
About that,
Now, that's a driving force for what he does.
To keep him going,
You know, but me, not necessarily.
Not necessarily, Okay. So it's all about sustaining a good lifestyle for you, basically. Yeah.
It's all about that. And speaking about the long-term goals too, I think my long-term goal will be more so, I mean, a lot of clients ask me like, yo, when are you going to open a shop or do this, you know? But I always say like, opening a shop being a good barber is different from being a good shop owner, you know? That's a different skill. It's a different skill entirely.
True.
And it's a different level of work and stress, you know, and it's a conversation I need to have myself. Is that something I'm willing to do? I personally, I like the idea of creating my own space, you know, and making it how I like. Again, back to that artistic conversation.
Yes.
You know, if I'm excited about curating a space less than being excited about opening
Opening a shop,
and
yeah.
just filling it with barbers
Yeah.
for to just make money, right? You know,
That's somebody else's excitement.
that's someone else's excitement. You know, they want a shop that's generating money.
Money, yes.
I want a space that I created the vibe, and when you walk in, you feel the sense, you feel the energy, you feel what's happening there. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
So aside from barbering, I know you've been working on some really cool stuff as well. I don't know if you want to talk about it.
Oh yeah, I don't mind.
Sure. Okay. So you have on your mirror soul capsule. I saw it one time. I was like, okay, what's soul capsule?
Yeah.
I actually didn't ask, but then it looked cool. So what is soul capsule? Can you tell us a bit about it?
For sure. I mean, Soul Capsule is it's a sneaker. It's a brand that focuses on everything sneakers.
Sneakers, okay.
Right now, primarily, we're focusing on sneaker display. We found a way of improving the old displays that were in the market and making them more advanced. You know, adding more tech features. You know, app control for the boxes, smart serve trays. You know, smart open systems.
Wow.
You know, the app authenticates sneakers to let you know if they're
Oh,
real.
that's cool.
Yeah. So essentially, we're creating a hub for sneakerheads where they have everything that they need. You know.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what Soul
In
Capsule
case you guys are wondering, you heard it here first. If he becomes a billionaire, you heard it on the Call That Bet podcast first. Yeah.
Don't worry.
But it was exciting when you were explaining how the whole thing and how long it took you to. That's one thing I learned from you, that you want to get it right. So you put a lot of time, a lot of efforts, a lot of resources into it, which is really good.
Oh yeah. I mean, and shout out my like my founders and co-founders too, right? Because as a team, we've been able to do this, you know, and that's the importance of like collaborating
with people. Yeah.
A lot of things can't really be. I mean, you can achieve a lot of things doing it by yourself, but you'd move faster and you'd have the fire burning to keep driving with good partners. Yeah,
that's good. Do you take time off to relax?
Yeah, man. Today,
because I see you working on it.
Today, Sunday, Monday. I'm usually off Sundays and Mondays.
Oh, okay. So you decided that these days I don't want to.
Yeah, I decided that. Initially, I used to work on a Monday. I'll take a Wednesday and Sunday off. You know, but I think I like this Sunday, Monday schedule. Yeah. And then maybe every 4 months or something, take a trip or just take some time off as well.
You told me about your solo trips that you do sometimes.
Yeah.
How is that important to you, and why do you do it? Why not to go with friends, buddies, and all that? Yeah.
I mean, this year was the first time I
did that. Okay.
In January. I wanted to do something new. You know, if you want your situation or your life or your mind to shift, like you have to just do something different.
New, right?
I'd never actually said, "Oh, let me just go on a personal fast and a personal disconnect from the world." I'm constantly talking about what's happening in the world, but it's like, okay, how am I doing? What am I doing to protect myself or fortify myself? And taking time away was key for that, you know, to plan my year.
Yeah, okay.
To kind of work on my faith as well. And honestly, doing that just recharged me. I came back. I was excited.
Yeah.
You know, now work is back. Now I'm slumped again. Now I want to take another one.
Yeah.
I mean, I just did because it was my girl's birthday. We went to a cabin, right?
Oh, nice.
But that was also another refresh. And it's something I would like to do every 3 or 4 months.
3 or 4 months.
Just take time away. Yeah. And recharge.
What was your lowest moment when you felt like quitting?
I won't say it was exactly a point, but it was more so like a culmination of things, right? It was just the stress of like working a lot and then having a lot of messages, a lot of calls on your phone to respond to, and just not feeling like you have the time, you know. That's made me realize I mean, so that the pressure just felt too much,
Too
and I felt
much,
like,
yeah.
and I felt like quitting. I'll say it was sometime maybe last year,
Oh,
and I guess that's
yeah.
partly what influenced me to make that move to like
Oh, take
to
some
take the
time
getaway,
off.
to take some time off to kind of
Yeah.
figure things out, and it helped me address some root causes. Right, I think in this industry, especially when you're dealing with customers, you need to be clear on your boundaries and define your time, define your schedule as well. When you work for yourself, you can work anyhow.
Yeah.
So me not having to surrounding my schedule and my
Schedule, yeah.
time and how people reach out to me, that caused a lot of stress. And then also being a people pleaser
Yeah.
did not help. Because now you're breaking your back when you should be laying on your back. Really.
I like that. So breaking your back is where you should be laid on it.
For real.
Okay.
So I had to learn how to start to create boundaries and put systems that reduce the stress, Yeah. So now I start a bit earlier and I'm done around 6, 7,
6, 7.
Yeah.
You said you started with $10 a cut, right? And I know there are guys that charge 100, 150, 200. I know there's a guy that also he charges people in Dubai. I don't know if you know him. I think 1,000 or so.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but my question for you is, what separates a $10 cut from a $100 cut?
I think it could really be, well, location matters for one.
Location.
What they charge in Dubai won't necessarily be what they charge
yeah.
in Canada or even like Nigeria, right? Like I know a barber in Nigeria who would be like a $60 barber here in Winnipeg, right? But what he's collecting is the equivalent of $4. Now, however, let's zone in on Winnipeg. What separates a $10 barber in Winnipeg from a $100 barber in Winnipeg? It's experience, customer service. Your $10 barber most likely does not have the skill of a $100 barber. It just boils down to skill.
Skill.
If the $10 barber was a $100 barber, he wouldn't be charging $10. Yeah, because your price also reflects the value of how you view your work.
Yeah.
So I think that's primarily it. Yeah. Although I'm not saying that a $10 barber cannot give you the same result as a $100 barber. But at $10, if you're amazing, then you'll be having at least 20 clients hitting you up a day.
Yeah.
Like if you can cut like a $100 barber and you're charging $10. If I said I'm charging $10 today, bro, the line will be so long. I may not be able to,
Yeah.
So, but however though, it really boils down to the skill level.
Right.
I think that's what it is.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I have this question. So, do you think in life, this has nothing to do with barbering, but I just wanted to find your perspective because I know how consistent you are and how you've been able to build your clientele. There's something you probably know, right? Do you think it's more of what you know or who you know? Yeah, and I want you to take time to think about it first. Yeah.
And in terms of like how that affects your success.
Your success, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely say it's a combination of both. It's a combination of both. What you know could really be what you have taken the time out to seek. However, though, I think mentorship or having somebody by your side can get you there faster. When you're learning something, you go step by step. Like when I was learning how to cut hair, I'm watching so many random YouTube videos. However, with a mentor, he could have shown me exactly what I needed to watch at every stage, and that could have fast-tracked the process, But definitely I'll say having a solid person by your side who you know is it's likely to push you further and faster.
Faster, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I love that. Okay. So you go for who you know, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And if I want to learn something today, and I want to do, I just need to find the right person.
The right person. Yes.
Just find the right person.
That's a good one.
Even with any work like delegating and whatnot, like you want to build a website. Now you can sit down and start to learn for the next 3 months.
Yeah. Or you find the right
Brother
person.
Patrick, and it's done.
Okay. If a new barber wants to get clients fast, what's the first thing they should focus on?
How to cut.
How to cut?
Okay. First things first.
First things first.
No, make sure you're giving your clients what they want. First of all, when a new client comes, I don't think they care that much about you or care about your story. In general, you might find that one person who wants to take time to know you.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, if they leave the chair unsatisfied, then there's a chance that you've lost that person.
Yeah.
So client retention is key in the very first. Yes, yeah.
If somebody comes to your barbering shop and gives you a very abnormal haircut to do, what would you do? What would be your reaction? Would you just do it because the reason is because you were like, we should listen to our clients, right?
Yeah.
So would you just do it because he said you should do it and he's paying you, or you would tell him, you try and find out why he's doing it?
Yeah. It just reminded me of one time. I posted this guy's haircut on my Snapchat, and this girl commented, she's like, bless her, this guy looks like a lizard. And I was like, I died, bro. Because that was what he wanted, and I just gave it to him. I said, like, bless her, this guy looks like a lizard. Why would you let him leave the shop like that? But I think at the end of the day, if you show me something weird, I try to the best of my ability to make it as reasonable as possible. And I also I could show you other solutions, But if you're insistent on this is what you want, then I'm giving you
then you
that.
do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
If they insist, then maybe they have a reason why they want that.
Yeah. Because part of our job too is also to look at your client's head shape and kind of figure out what works for them, Like the last time you came now, I was like, the volume will sit on you or whatever. So that's key, being able to suggest to your clients. And I find like people actually do take suggestions. This year I started suggesting like, oh bro, do you want to try this on your beard? Do you want to? I'm like, oh yeah, sure, let me do something.
Yeah. I think after knowing them for a while, you kind of see what works for them. And when you make suggestions and they actually like it, then it's now that's going to be my hairstyle for a while because I got a lot of compliments actually from that.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. How important is social media for barbers today?
Social media is very important. It's very important. In fact, for any business right now, it's very important. Organic posts are moving. You don't even need to be paying for ads
anymore.
Ads are a plus, but social media allows people to get a sense of who you are before they even come to the chair. If you notice, before I used to just post before and afters. I was posting my clients. I wasn't posting myself. Now I try to post myself because people are able to get a sense of who you are, and that also, I guess, that draws them closer. And I think that's how social media is working. One of the young guys in the shop, bro, he's been at the shop for less than a year. And he was doing TikTok consistently. Like in 1 week, he got 10 new clients from TikTok.
Wow.
Yeah. And myself just posting on IG now and TikTok, 1 week I got like 2 new guys from TikTok. Oh bro, I saw your TikTok. People that I didn't know. So it definitely works. Social media works. And it's doing social media would grow you as a person,
Yes.
First, you're learning how to edit pictures and videos. Then now you're learning how to present yourself better. So it forces that self-improvement. I think it's key.
Yeah. I realized you started having a short podcast with your clients. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's something I want to zone in on because I think a lot of great conversations happen on the chair.
So why not bring it out,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
What's one thing you've learned from people by just sitting behind the chair? I mean, not behind the chair.
Yeah, standing behind the chair.
By standing behind the chair.
Yeah. I think people are peculiar. People are different. People are very interesting. Being behind the chair, I think it has made me appreciate people more.
Okay.
Because I find that there's something to like about everybody.
Everybody.
Even especially because with the people that come to my chair, sometimes they're not people that I would necessarily associate with outside of the shop, but them being on my chair and me getting to know them, I begin to appreciate one or two things about them.
Yeah.
So I think it's taught me that there's something to appreciate about everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
And it's also made me less judgmental, because when you hear people's stories, then things start to add up. The context makes sense as to why the person is the way that they are.
Yeah.
Not to say that we don't have, there's opportunity to grow in every aspect, but then I'm able to give a bit of grace to be like, okay, now I know your story. Now I know why you're the way you are. So, yeah.
Where can we find you on social media?
Instagram, TikTok, Bless the Barber, BLESS, Barber with 2 R's. Yeah.
And before you go, do you teach people? Do you mentor people? Or?
I'm open to that.
Okay.
I've had people reach out to me, and we've done a few classes here and there.
Okay.
But it's definitely something I like to structure and make better. Yeah.
So if, let's say, somebody wants to reach out to you, they should just message you.
Yeah, I'll say send me a DM, and then we can talk about it. Yeah, for sure.
Bless, man. We definitely have to do a part 2 of this. Yeah. It's been a great conversation.
Yeah.
We've gotten to know a lot of things that happens behind the scene.
Yeah.
A lot of people see Blessed, and this is blessed for you guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, thanks for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to actually talk about my story. I like to talk. My clients know I like to talk. So this is this has been nice for me. Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Can't wait for part 2, bro.
Yes, sir. I'm down.
Okay. So that was Blessed here. He told us that he likes talking to people, getting to know about people's stories. He wants to know the story behind the person. And that's what we do here on the Called at Bed podcast. This is Blessed. He's been a friend. I'd like you guys to comment, like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on another episode. My name is Samuel Lai. Okay. I guess our audience here have some questions for you, Blessed. They want to know, they want to get answers to some of their questions. So we'll start with Mr. Patrick.
Thank you very much for coming to this.
Thank you.
My question is, do you believe you were called to be a barber, or is this something life pushed you into?
Well, that's a deep question, to be honest.
So the question is, do you believe you were called to be a barber, or is something life pushed you to? Just for the people who didn't hear the question.
Man, I don't know if I was called to be it. So even before I started cutting hair here, it's something I thought in Nigeria, I'd like to be able to do this, just as a basic interest. However, as time went on, I think the question of calling started to make more sense, and that's why I was talking about my relationship with God, right? Because I'm getting traffic on my chair. It's like, what impact am I leaving on the chair? So I think that's, I'll say, tied to my purpose. But then again, life did motivate me to start. Life motivated me to start cutting hair. The economic hardship in Nigeria, pushed me to start. But then again, it's like, as I'm doing it, I'm seeing potentially what God wants me to do with this opportunity that He has given me. So I'll say it's kind of, it's both. Yeah, it is both.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The Call at Bed question for you on this Call at Bed episode is, what would you tell your younger self? If you were to start this whole thing over, what would you say to your younger self?
I would definitely say, just go for it. Like, don't be afraid. Fear no man, respect all men, and honor God. It's as simple as that. Because fear is what keeps us stuck, keeps us from moving forward. At the same time, though, I believe that everything that I've passed through is what has made me who I am today. So if I did not go through that phase of fear or doubt, then I wouldn't be as grounded as I am mentally today.
That's a wrap, guys.
Good, sir. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no